He was the kind of boy who started everything but finished nothing. One week, he started learning guitar. The next, he'd begin a business course. Then, a new app idea, a fitness plan, a YouTube channel. He always started with excitement, heart racing, mind on fire. But as soon as things got hard, he stopped. There was always an excuse. Not today. Maybe later. I'll try again next week. And every time he quit, something small inside him quietly faded. He lived surrounded by reminders of who he wanted to be, but never became. The guitar with a broken string, the notebook with only the first 3 pages written, the half-built website on his laptop. He wasn't lazy. He just didn't know how to finish what he started. One day, after another failed attempt at his new idea, he decided to go hiking to clear his head, to escape the noise. At first, it was peaceful. The air was cool, and the trail was familiar. But then, the fog rolled in. Thick, heavy, silent. The path disappeared. He turned left, then right, but every direction looked the same. He called out no answer, and as panic began to rise, he saw something glowing faintly through the mist. He walked closer and gasped. Before him stretched the vast valley, endless and silent, covered in thousands of glowing stones. Some were small like pebbles, others were massive, pulsing with faint blue light. The mist danced between them like ghosts. He knelt and picked one up. It was warm, and as he held it, the light inside began to swirl, until it showed an image. It was him. In the stone's glow, he saw himself, younger, practicing guitar, laughing, dreaming. Then the vision froze, and the voice whispered from inside the stone, "You left me halfway." His heart dropped. He picked up another stone. This one showed him sitting at his laptop designing a logo for his first online store. He could see the excitement in his eyes. Then it stopped again. It's halfway. One more stone. This time, him studying for his dream job. Focused, determined. Then silence. "You left me halfway." He looked around and it hit him. Every stone here, every single one, was one of his unfinished goals. The valley wasn't made of rocks. It was built from dreams people had abandoned. Each glowing stone was a memory of something someone started, then gave up on. He stood up and looked into the mist, and saw it stretching endlessly in every direction. The mist thickened, and from the distance, he began to hear whispers, thousands of voices. "You left me halfway. You said you'd come back. You promised to finish me." He covered his ears, but the voices weren't outside. They were inside his head. He realized this valley wasn't somewhere out there. It was inside him. The fog was his own confusion. The stones were his own abandoned dreams. And the whispers were the echo of his excuses. He fell to his knees. Tears burned in his eyes. For years, he had blamed everything: time, luck, motivation. But now, face to face with what he left behind, he saw the truth. It wasn't life that stopped him. It was him. He wasn't unlucky. He was unfocused. And the saddest part, he didn't even remember half the dreams buried here. Through the mist, one stone shone brighter. He walked toward it slowly, cautiously. When he touched it, the glow engulfed him, and he saw himself, standing on the stage, confident, inspiring others, a version of him who never gave up. This one wasn't a memory. It was a possibility. The person he could still become if he decided to climb out of this valley. He whispered, "I want to be him." The stone replied softly, "It's greater than finish what you start." He looked up. The valley's walls were steep, and the mist tugged at his feet like invisible hands. Every step felt heavier, as if the valley itself wanted him to stay. Voices echoed again. "It's too late. You'll fail again. You've tried before, remember?" But this time, he didn't listen. He kept climbing, step by step, breath by breath. Each step forward made the whispers weaker and the light stronger. Finally, after what felt like forever, he reached the top. The mist faded away. The sky opened above him, clear and golden. He turned around one last time. The valley below was still glowing. Thousands of unfinished dreams shining faintly in the fog. He whispered, "I'll never come back here again." Then he looked at his hand. The stone he had carried began to glow brighter until it dissolved into pure light and vanished. The next morning, his alarm rang at 5 a.m. For the first time in years, he didn't hit snooze. He sat at his desk. The same dusty guitar stared back at him. He picked it up and tuned the strings. He opened the same half-finished notebook and began writing again. This time, not for motivation, not for perfection, just to finish. Days turned into weeks, and slowly, he noticed something change. In his mind, in his focus, in his confidence. He wasn't chasing a new dream every week anymore. He was building one, brick by brick, line by line, step by step. We all have our own valley, a place inside us where half-finished dreams and forgotten goals go to sleep. Every skill we abandoned, every book we said we'd read, every promise we broke to ourselves, and sometimes we stand at the edge of that valley and wonder why we feel so lost. It's because we keep building it every time we quit halfway. But here's the truth. That valley doesn't have to be your home. You can climb out one goal at a time. Finish the course, finish the book, finish the dream you once believed in. Because every time you finish something you started, a light goes out in that valley and shines inside you instead. The valley of forgotten goals never truly disappears. But the more you keep your promises to yourself, the smaller it becomes. And one day, when you finally look back, you'll realize you don't live in the valley anymore. You live in the light above it. Don't start a new goal today. Finish an old one.